to the Hookup on Music with your host, Tony Bird.
Welcome, everybody, to Monday night or evening. It's 5 p.m., and we're glad you are here joining us at our new time slot that we hope to continue at for the foreseeable future. But what brings us here is what brings us here every single week, and that is musical talk of all different kinds of varieties because, well, who doesn't like a little talk of the music? And we got a lot of it tonight, so let's jump in. I hope everybody's week has been really good. I am Tony B, your host of this cruise of cruising, of coolness, of music, of just a bunch of different things. I don't know what all that hodgepodge I just said, but tonight we got a lot of different topics ranging from Lollapalooza to a breakdown of My Morning Jacket's new album. Got a lot of stuff to get to. So why wait? Okay, tonight we're gonna get started on a little bit of concert news. Lollapalooza 2025 is back, and they have announced the artists for each day. If you're watching live, you can see some of these artists like Tyler the Creator and Luke Combs on Thursday, Olivia Rodrigo and Korn on Friday. These are just the headliners. Rufus Du Sol and Twice on Saturday, and Sabrina Carpenter and ASAP Rocky on Sunday. Having attended only one Lollapalooza in my lifetime, and that was 1997. It was a very eclectic lineup in 1997 too, because we had Tool, we had Snoop Dogg, we had James, we had Tricky. Korn was supposed to be there too, but they canceled. But Korn's here this year, and to be fair, they're only one of a couple bands that are familiar to me on this whole entire smorgasbord of music. The others being Cage the Elephant and Foster the People. Besides that, you're running into a lot of newer artists that I am not familiar with, but I want to stop myself short and say that I don't want to say, oh, who are these artists? Because every year I kind of tune in on the live feed that they got. Please, if you have the opportunity on Hulu and you have Hulu, they usually play the whole thing live. You can watch a lot of these sets. Of course, I would love to check out Korn sets because on top of all this kind of hip hop and pop and all this other different stuff, you got the hard and heavy of Korn, who, going back to that 1997 show, very disappointed that they dropped out. But I also was enlightened to see Tool, who changed my life forever that night. So maybe one of these artists can change somebody's life for the positive, because I think that is exactly why they put Lollapalooza together. They want people to tune in and dig all the different kinds of tunes. We kind of got ourselves our own little Lollapalooza here on the show. So if you have an opportunity, like I stated, and you're going, please do not feel shy to let us know the positives and the negatives of some of these artists, because as we get closer, maybe I'm just going to do a dive in on some of these random names I've never heard and see what comes out, because this is exactly why I love music. And if I was able to get some kind of passes to go to the old Lollapalooza, I would go. But paying the price to see some of these artists who I've never heard of, this is a little bit of a different time, and I just don't think that I can do that. But if you are, please reach out and let me know. If it's been a little bit of a long time and you have not dug in, who remembers that Motley Crue came out with an album, which was honestly probably one of their best. It was heavy, it was hard hitting, and if you have lately have been hearing the vocal stylings of where one Vince Neil is, then maybe you want to take a little bit of break and you want to dig into the Juran Corabi sang album, Motley Crue, self-titled, from March 15th in 1994. It was a really, 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 really heavy album. Showcased a different style for the band during a time where the success of Dr. Feelgood and their greatest hits album, which I had on cassette, Decade of Decadence, um, they were tired and they wanted to just kind of get something new going. And Vince was just kind of honestly falling out with the other guys in the band, who he ended up having a little bit of a solo career. And then these guys, they wanted to continue Motley Crue, um, who needed a frontman. So they dug into John Corabi, who was the lead singer of a little band called The Scream. Um, they got together, and honestly, it was with really great mixture that these four were able to make this album. And what's a real shame is people did not buy into this as much as I believe that they should have, because they wanted the old Motley Crue sound. But bands need to change, and if you really think about it, I would like to see him have some more albums with Corabi. Um, Mick Mars on this album, because Corabi also was able to play guitar, gave Mars a second guitarist, giving and able to do some different things, which is honestly what you want. But there was honestly really, really great time in the band. They also committed themselves to their sobriety, which was great. They had a physical trainer. They really, 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 really wanted to have the same success as Dr. Feelgood. The recording sessions, 24 songs, took 10 months. But again, the lyrics were darker. Kind of a little bit of the push away from their old style, and a little bit more of a focus on where kind of bands like Soundgarden were. If you please get any opportunity, go back and dig back into Hooligan's Holiday. It was the single from the album. And honestly, I think it's a great song. There is a really cool guitar riff on this song, and it really, 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 I think, showcased a band that I think was trying to do something different. And this is really kind of where we kind of get involved in, because at the same time, this is Bob Rock producing this, who just got done producing Metallica's Black album. So there is a little bit of that hardness to this album. I can't speak highly enough of this album. So please, if you get an opportunity, check out Motley Crue. It's a self-titled album. Get away from that Vince Neil sound and a little bit into the darker avenue of a little bit of like some alternative metal. Giving kind of Motley Crue their own Super Unknown. So can't wait to hear what you think of that one. Tower of Power. I was on my my walk the other day, and I set up the playlist I was telling you about. We've done a show about just picking random songs from it. It's over 3,000 songs on this, and honestly, I was walking and walking and walking, and then all of a sudden, some Tower of Power came on. And to be fair, I didn't know what to expect. But there was a track from their third album that was just really, 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 really blowing up my ears. What Is Hip is the name of the song. Lenny Williams on lead vocals just really knocks this one out of the park. His vocal delivery, along with the horns of Tower of Power, have me digging into more. An R&B and funk-based band out of Oakland, California. Okay, they've been together since 1968. And it definitely is a little bit different than the Motley Crue, in which we were just talking about a couple minutes ago, because to be fair, we like a little bit of something different. So dig into some Tower of Power, you know what I mean? Lenny Williams, though, was a very excellent vocalist, who actually went on to have a solo career of himself, including some hit recordings, Choosing You and Because I Love You. But back to Tower of Power, their sound was hard and their sound was heavy. Emilio Castillo, bringing the horns and also just really bringing the sound, okay, with the tenor saxophone and also bringing lead vocals. Stephen Kuka, Doc on baritone sax, has also been with the band since '68. These are the two guys who have been jamming with Tower of Power since, well, 1968. But their albums are very, 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 very good. I'm still in the process of digging into a little bit of each one. Right now, I'm on 74's Back to Oakland, which by Modern Drummer, it was voted as one of the most important recordings for drummers to listen to. So you in a rhythm, you into some good drums, I think you should check out Back to Oakland. And you're saying to yourself, well, I think I must do that. David Garibaldi is the drummer on this album. And honestly, his drumming is great. He's also been credited of playing with Boz Scaggs, which playing with Boz Scaggs is no light feat. So you've got some time on your hands. Please dig into the amazing, amazing, amazing Tower of Power, because the Tower of Power is the power of the tower. We got some new releases here for you tonight. Let's dig into what is it that we got that's new. Machine Head, Unatoned, new album that will be coming out pretty soon by the band. But we like Machine Head here at the Hookup on Music. And Unatoned is going to be a very, very, very good listen, I think. They're already getting ready. The tour is ready to go. It's going to come out in 2025. These Scars Won't Define Us came out in November, but Unbound has the new single came out towards the end of February 18th. What's crazy is These Scars Won't Define Us, which featured vocals from all four band members, okay, described as the Wu-Tang level thrash collaboration, which was had In Flames, Lacuna Coil, Unearthed. That is who's opening up with Machine Head on this new tour. But I'm curious, 12 songs on the new album, okay. You're saying to yourself, this is going to be their 11th studio album, okay. One day we're going to make them our artist of the week when the album starts to come out and we dig into it a little bit more, but it's not going to be released until April 25th. They're going to be coming to town at the beginning of May here in Chicago. So if you have some opportunities, I would check them out. I'm still trying to work out some schedule stuff because that would be a great, 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 great show for many, 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 many different reasons. But if you yourself are a Machine Head fan, please let us know what your favorite is. Rob Flynn is an excellent vocalist and guitar player. Been having a lot of band members through the years: bassist Adam Deuce, Jared McMillan, drummer Mac Elson, Reese Scruggs, Phil Demmel, Tony Costanza, Chris Cantos, Dave McLean. There are just so many. Current lineup of the band has Rob Flynn, Reese Scruggs on guitar, Jared McLaren on bass. He's been with them since 2013. Reese Scruggs has 2024 became the official member. Matt Olson drums from 2019. Interesting. Only a couple bass players. Adam Deuce was with the band from 91 to 2013. A lot of clean vocals, screams, death growls. Machine Head has it all. And this new track that is just honestly, it's a return to form for the band, Unbound. But check it out. Let us know what you think. I'm excited for this new release. You got any new metal releases that you got on your plate? Please drop them down our way. Never really a problem because I have no problem digging into anything that you got that you want to send to us. just this week, I was sent an album by A Day to Remember. Big Ol' Album, Volume 1 just came out. Never heard this, guys. It was really good. Thank you, Andrew. Always appreciate you sending out stuff. But let us keep moving on with a new album. And honestly, this is going to be a little bit of a mixture because we're going to be doing a new release and an artist of the week. It's going to be all in one, which is going to just be a good time. So let us get started with our artist of the week. My Morning Jacket. Wow. You know what I mean? These guys are great. If you have not taken a listen to them, this would be probably one of my favorite bands. They are rock to the bone. They're from Louisville, Kentucky. Starting in 1998, Jim James, Tom Blankenship, Patrick Callahan, Bo Coster, and Carl Bromell make up the band. And you're saying, what brings us here tonight to talk about My Morning Jacket? They got a brand new album out, which you may say, what is it called? It is their 10th studio album. It is called Is. And tonight, we are here to not only bring you the artist of the week, which is My Morning Jacket, we're here to also dig into their brand new album, just released this past Friday, March 21st, 39 minutes. Okay, it's an excellent record, produced by Brendan O'Brien, who you may be familiar with a lot of his work. He's done everything from AC/DC and Pearl Jam to Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rage Against the Machine, Papa Roach, Limp Bizkit, Korn, Bruce Springsteen. So many artists. Now he's working with My Morning Jacket, which it was curious to see what was this going to be about? What was this album going to sound like? I've been in curiosity for a long time. This is, again, following up their 2021 self-titled album, which was just a really amazing head trip. So where was Is going to bring us? If you get an opportunity to check out any of these songs, even on YouTube, this picture you're seeing right here, it kind of moves. It's kind of cool. It really gives a excellent feel. But in a minute here, we're going to dig into it, a track by track digging into, which is going to be great because I can't wait to quote unquote kind of let you know a little bit of what this album's about. And if you maybe never even heard them, maybe this is a good time to get to know them. This band is heavy and they can get light. Now, when I say heavy, I mean like your favorite band from the 70s heavy, like, not like screaming and growling heavy, but you could rock and you could bang your head. This album is focused, okay? It's a very focused record. Not to say that their albums aren't focused, but this album, you could see they worked with a producer that kept everything a little bit in line. Okay, the album itself is 39 minutes long. It's on the ATO album record label, which this is just a growing trend for the band. Everything that they release seems to be amazing. And well, let's dig into this brand new album, which was not, what I like about a lot of these different bands is you just don't expect a lot of them to have new material out. And then all of a sudden they do. Kind of like a lot of artists, but now it's kind of like sneaking up. Before you knew about it a little bit more, when this was released, I got really excited to hear it. 3 singles have been released from it. So let's dig into the first track, Out in the Open. Starts off with a little bit of a keyboard sound, which is cool. And then it all of a sudden just kind of dwarfs into something sounding a little more positive. Now, that's all I can play for you. Dig in a little bit more and kind of let me know what you'd think. But probably out of the 10 tracks of the on the album, this one would be probably on the leaser side of my favorites. I like a hard rocking song to start off an album. It does not start that way, but that does not mean that there isn't amazing songs that I think could have worked better as a lead-off track. But you know what? There is no dogging this album at all because it's a really strong album. I like the positive sound. So I guess maybe that's what it is. We're going with a little bit of positivity, which is great. Next up is Half a Lifetime. Got a little crazy rhythm there to get going. If you get some time, dig in deeper, and you could hear Mr. Jim James's vocal delivery, which brings it back to something that might have been on Z. I'm hearing a lot of comparisons for a lot of this stuff. There's even a track on here that they began working on, which was that track right there. On Z. So like that's what's crazy is that you could hear some of those influences on some of these songs, which is definitely where you want to be with a band like My Morning Jacket. Next up, I think now kind of is where I think the album starts to get going. Everyday Magic. Great guitar line right there, and really kind of takes up the bass, gets going. A 4-minute and 21-second song that does not disappoint in any way, shape, or form. Growth is what we like from this band, and I like all of their albums kind of become like a mixtape with so many different sounds. Next is I Can Hear Your Love. That's got a keyboard line that will be stuck in your head for a long time. Along with James's vocal delivery and the bass and the rhythm section of Blankenship and Hallahan, really again is just so good. So good. And if you haven't seen them live, please do. Next up is the first single, Time Waited. I like the way that one sounds like an old radio song, an old radio station getting started. Really gets going, and then when the chorus kicks in, if you're looking for something to kind of get you going, that's definitely going to be it. Back to I Can Hear Your Love. Really great song right there. Everyday Magic is I think the one right there that I might have skipped over. Great guitar riff, and again builds. The bass builds. We're here for My Morning Jacket. So again, you're looking for a band to take you on a bit of a ride. You could go back and get started here in a second, which we're going to go through after we go through the last half of the album, which the second half of the album is bar none, again, some of the band's greatest work. You get started with Beginning from the Ending. You're looking for something get stuck in your head. Beginning from the Ending is pretty much there, and it's also the album's longest track, which to me, I think the song could have went on for about 9-10 minutes, which maybe live it will. That's why you got to see them live. They are kind of like a jam band. But looking for concise results is what this album is bringing. Lots of concise results. I like the beat here. It also sounds like kind of like a drum machine, which is kind of really cool. But again, background vocals, everybody sings background vocals on Let Me Know, which is great because I like what a lot of backing vocals are going a lot of different times, and they got excellent backing vocals in this past. Carl Brommel has got some really excellent solo material. If you have not sat down and checked that out, you might want to do that. Why not? Why not check that out along with a lot of this other stuff that we're jamming on? Okay, 3 more songs here. We've been talking about this next one. We've talked about it here on the show. Squidding. Bar none, rocking My Morning Jacket. Bar none, really filling out this album. I really actually wish that we could have moved Squidding up to 1 and Out in the Open down to 8. I think then we would have had what I would be another perfect album. But the album still is perfect. But just, you could always change a couple things a little bit around. These next 2 songs are really good. Die For It. You're looking for that classic My Morning Jacket, just rocking. Great, great, great keyboard, great vocal line, just a delivery all around. That brings it. That brings it around. Was curious when I looked at the titles. River Road, final track on the album. Only 10 songs on the album. Like I said, concise, brings it together. What was River Road going to sound like? What was this about? Oh, bluesy, yes. Take some time. And if you want to go on down a River Road, you're not going to be disappointed at all. Excellent, excellent, excellent album. An excellent way to wrap it up. Haunting, haunting, haunting. Excellent from the boys. You're a fan of Z. You will love this album. Z was another album that was really concise compared to the album that came right before that. It Still Moves. Looking to dig deeper into these guys, into their whole entire thing. It Still Moves is a great way to get started because It Still Moves has the goodies. You know what I mean? But back to this new album. There's comparisons to I Can Hear Your Love, comparison to Roy Orbison, vocal line delivery. Wow. Who does not want to be compared to Mr. Roy Orbison? I would love to be compared to Roy Orbison. But a lot of people love My Morning Jacket. A lot of people love The Waterfall 1 and The Waterfall 2. Just really, really great songs on there. And also digging into R&B and psychedelia and folk. Really great. Just a band that's got heart. We love bands that got heart. Most bands that we talk about on here have a heart. And by a heart, I mean like they know how to jam. They know what it is that they're looking for when they're coming out with albums. Circuital lead off track is over 8-9 minutes long. We talk about that kind of stuff all the time. Jim James has got a great solo career. You know what I mean? An excellent solo career. If you have not dug into the album before the album we're talking about, the self-titled My Morning Jacket, that album is 60 minutes long, almost 20 minutes more, and just filled with jams. Devil's in the Details, 9 minutes long. In Color, 7 minutes long. Never could get enough. It's 8 minutes long. This band is just bringing so many different sounds. Okay. Sounds that are just all over. Okay. One Big Holiday, amazing guitar, dual guitar at Kirk Hammett from Metallica went on stage and played with them. They're going on tour end of October, 3 shows at the Salt Shed. Hope to see you there because honestly, whatever they're going to be playing or whatever their set list is going to be set up like, we're going to like it. And it's going to be a really great time. So we've said everything we had to say about My Morning Jacket's new album and how great they are. Take a listen to them and let us know what you think because we love to hear your opinion on this Monday. Let's wrap it up with our song of the week. Let It Whip, the Dazz Band. When's the last time you played this one? Probably a while because generally I don't hear too many people talk about the Dazz Band. A 1982 single, just a couple months before I was born, February 12th. Electro funk, post disco. They got an instrumental version at 7 minutes. They got a 6-minute version. Album versions 4 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh my God, great. It won Best R&B Performance by a Duo Group at the 1982 Billboard Awards. It is perfect for any party you are about to put on. It has a drum machine rhythm underneath live drums and a mini Moog bass line underneath an electric bass line. A lot of bass, a lot of drums. Coming all the way up to cracking the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100. Just an excellent song that if you're having a an awful day, it really, really, really could put you into the place. It's been covered by everyone from Boys to Men, SR-71, just some really, really, really great stuff. Been in movies like Grosse Point Blank, Next Friday, The First Purge, in video games like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. An excellent track that definitely should be the cherry on the top to any playlist that you want to play, because you know why? You gotta let it whip. Okay, we've had a great show tonight. Talked about a lot of awesome stuff. We talked about the amazing My Morning Jacket. Talked about self-titled Motley Crue album. Talked about the brand new Machine Head that's going to be released. Talked about just Lollapalooza. Just so much stuff. Thank you so much. If it has been a while and you have not checked out At the Show, please go do that. This past week, dug into the amazing Tom Petty soundtrack on the show, along with the Leprechaun series, which was just hilarious and a great time. But the Tom Petty series, She's the One. I keep wanting to say She's All That, which is the Freddie Prinze Jr. movie, which did not have Tom Petty on the soundtrack. Not that I'm aware. I have not dug into that. But our new slot on Monday, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy talking music. If you would ever like to come on and join us in what we're doing, we would love to have you, because you know what? It's always fun to talk to anyone about music. Next up is 3 ones, 111, 111. You know, tonight was 110. So we do appreciate you coming on and joining us and listening and letting us always know what we can share, what we should share. So please do that. You can always send it up at the Hookup on Music on the old X, or pretty much anywhere else you would like to find me. You leave your socials in the comments. I'll reach out to you. Anything that you feel comfortable with, because here at the Hookup on Music, that is what it is all about. Talking tunes, because I am Tune. My name is Tone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Hookup on Music, and we will be seeing you next Monday at 5 p.m. for another amazing shot at just a bunch of cool music. Take care, everyone out there. Have a good week.
Thank you for listening. Please look out for the audio version wherever you jam.